we got a good thing. Don't know if I'ma see you again.
Hi everybody, my name is Amber and I am the Black Directioner. Okay, so today I've been actually thinking about this for a really long time, and I think I finally come to the conclusion of the 5 songs that I'm happy with. So basically today, as the title says, I would like to inform everybody of 5 One Direction songs that I think we should never let die. Please keep in mind that all of this is just opinion. If you have different views from me, that's completely fine. You do you and everything like that. I'm just telling you guys the 5 One Direction songs that I think we should, that this fandom should never let die, whether if we're a fandom today, next year, or not anymore, or whatever. At the end of the day, One Direction have done a lot for a lot of us. So I just think that we should never just let these songs from them die in general. So we're going to do it backwards from 5 to 1. So the first song is number 5, and that song is Night Changes. The reason why Night Changes is in this countdown is because personally, I feel like when they wrote it from their heart, and they wrote it to tell us what they felt like was on their mind, which goes back to Harry's line, "We're only getting older, baby, and I've been thinking about it lately." And it's something about that line that just kind of throws me off, because it's true that, you know, life goes by really fast, and we're only getting older. And, you know, it's just crazy just how fast everything is going by. And I think that song is just telling you, you know, enjoy the things that are happening in your life right now that are meant to be enjoyed, and don't just think too hard about it, because everybody's getting older quicker and time waits for nobody, and you should just live your life and you should just be happy. And then he's like, no matter how much the night changes, it'll never change me and you, which kind of hits me in a way too, because it makes me feel like he's talking to us as fans at the same time. It's like, even though I'm getting older, I still feel like I'm going to forever be a fangirl and forever love music and forever be in fandoms as deep as I am now, kind of way, you know, kind of thing. So that's just how I feel about it, and that's why I felt like this song, we should never let the song die. The next song is song number 4, and it is Fireproof. Now, I remember when I first reacted to Fireproof. I think it's still up on my channel. I don't know. I probably have to take it down. But if I didn't have to take it down, I will link it down below, my reaction back when my computer was crappy. And I remember that a lot of people stopped liking Fireproof because they said it was like annoying, it was getting on their nerves or something, and I just never understood why. I loved Fireproof from the get-go, and to this day it's still one of my favorite songs. If you're still kind of like in the midst of, I'm not really into Fireproof, I want you to just find a quiet space, just close your eyes while you're listening to that song and really listen to the freaking lyrics. The lyrics are so, okay, first of all, the backbeat is so calming, and their voices are so calming, and the lyrics are just so crazy to me. Like, again, I think they're talking to us on a fan level, but at the same time, you can think about it in another way. You can think about it how you feel about them, or how you feel about a celebrity that you really care about, or how you feel about a person that you really care about, and incorporate it in these lyrics. They said, "'Cause nobody knows you, baby, the way I do." And it's just like, that alone is just deep. You know, that alone is something that I would want my significant other to say to me one day, you know, and nobody loves you, baby, the way I do. Like, oh my gosh, you know, like, I feel like this song is meant to make fans feel safe, you know, which a lot of these other songs on this countdown are going to make us feel safe in a way as well. And it's just something about Fireproof that I just love, which is why I said this is just an opinionated video, because maybe you don't feel the same way as me, which is fine. But I just think something about it, I just think we just shouldn't let it die. I think it's too perfect lyrically and melody wise to just let it die. And I think it's just, I feel like it's just meant for every single fan. So song number 3 is Little Things. Now, Little Things is definitely a throwback back to their second album, Take Me Home. Whenever Little Things first came out, I loved it and everything. I loved the music video, but I do remember that the radio played it entirely too much, and it made me upset, and I was tired of hearing it. And I'm like, okay, I don't care, because that was the only One Direction song they played. And I remember Take Me Home era was in 2012, you guys. That was a long time ago, you know. I'm older now, and I really listen to it, and I'm just really like, whoa, you know. The reason why I think this song is important and why we should never let it die is because in this song, One Direction talk about insecurities, which I think is something that is a really big problem with a lot of people in society now. Everybody's worried about, you know, if their forehead is too big, or if they're too fat, or if they're too skinny, or if they're not pretty enough, or if their makeup isn't good enough, or if their hair isn't great enough, or anything like that. You know, people are insecure. You know, everybody has insecurities, everybody has fears. You know, it's just like something that everyone goes through. Even the quote unquote perfect people that you see at school or in college or at work or in your household or in your family, you know, they've been through some insecurities as well themselves. And even though you might think that they look nice, they probably don't even think they look nice, you know. Insecurities, I feel like, goes through everybody. Even if people claim that they've never had them, I genuinely think that everybody has had insecurities. Some struggle harder than others, but everybody has had them. And it's just something about this song that just tells you that One Direction noticed that everybody has insecurities, including them. So they're just kind of letting you know that insecurities are small things that you see but other people might not see, and that you shouldn't let it rule your life, and you shouldn't let it bother you, and you shouldn't let it completely push you over the edge into anything, because whoever you're with or whoever is your friend or anything don't care about your insecurities, and they just think that you're an awesome person as you are. And that's why I think this song deserves to be on the countdown. Song number 2 is Diana. You guys, I am so passionate about the song Diana. Like, oh my goodness. The song Diana has got to be one of the most amazing songs One Direction has ever done. As passionate as I feel about it, you would think I would think that needs to be number 1. But you know, it is number 2, so close enough. The reason why I felt like Diana should be on this countdown is because I just don't even freaking know. Diana's lyrics are just so perfect, and I think they should have done a music video to Diana, and it should have been a fan video. Like, whenever I say fan video, the first thing that always comes to my mind is this Jonas Brothers video that's called When You Look Me in the Eyes. I'm going to link it down below so y'all can go and kind of see what I mean by fan video. And I just think that they should have incorporated something like that into Diana if they ever did a music video. Also, I think Diana should have been a superhero themed music video where they're all dressed as some kind of superhero, you know, kind of sort of like the adventures of One Direction. They're all kind of dressed like that, and they come together as one, and they find all the distressed people that are their fans out in the world, and they go and save them and help them through everything, you know, because that's how I feel whenever I hear Diana. Like, the freaking lyrics, you guys, I'm a lyrical person, okay? I have to listen to the lyrics. The lyrics have to be banging for me to just be in love with it, you know? Because, okay, I don't know if y'all knew this, but whenever Diana first came out, I know a lot of people were saying that Diana was meant for the fans that quote unquote didn't make it, which are the fans who like passed away from like suicide or anything of that sort. And it's also for the fans that are kind of sort of going through that, and they're going through really hard times that make them not want to be here on Earth at this moment, kind of thing. Which is a really, really, really big reason why I think Diana should never die. I think we should never let that song die at all. Out of all of these songs on this countdown, we should never let Diana die, because I just feel like it can hit everybody in a way, and even if it can't, it can hit you on another level of you've known somebody who's on the level that Diana is supposed to hit. Like, for instance, Liam said, the front pages of your pictures, they make you look so small. How could someone not miss you at all? Which is what a lot of suicidal people think, is that, oh, well, nobody loves me. If I kill myself, nobody's going to miss me anyway, you know, when that's not true. Because there's always going to be somebody who's going to miss you. There's always going to be somebody who's going to care for you. And then we move on to Harry, where he says, I never would mistreat you. I'm not a criminal. I speak a different language, but I still hear your call. So whenever I hear that lyric, it makes me feel like, even though people in the real world are mistreating you, I'm here for you. Like Harry is here for you. And this different language thing is like, I'm famous and you're not. So, you're on different levels than with famous people. You know what I mean? So it's like, but he can still hear your plea. He can still hear that some of his fans need him, in a kind of way. And then he said, "You've been lonely. You don't even know me, but I can feel you crying," which makes me feel like, you've been by yourself and you've been crying. And sometimes, how sometimes, I don't know if any of y'all have ever felt this, but how sometimes where only One Direction or only certain artists' music can make you feel better, that's it, not a person, not a TV show, nothing like that. Only a certain specific song or album or constant songs can just make you feel great. And I think that's part of this lyric when it's like, you don't even know me, but you're crying to me. And they're just like, I can feel it. I can feel your pain. I can feel how much pain you have, which is why, despite the fact that there's a lot of drama and stuff that goes on in our fandom, I genuinely still to this day think that One Direction care about us so much. Even if we do some crazy stuff or whatever, I just think that they're just here for us no matter what, And so that's just me. That's probably why it hits me so hard. And then just one more lyric, okay? It says, "Let me be the one to lift your heart up and save your life. I don't think you even realize, baby, you'd be saving mine." See, that specific lyric is why I feel like we should never, ever, ever, like, even when we're all 60 years old, we should never let this song die, because I just feel like it can help people in generations. Oh my gosh. He said, "You don't even realize you'd be saving mine." It's like, in a way, we're saving their life too. Let me not, because I'm gonna get emotional and I need to not, okay? Just know that Diana is a great song, alright? And we never need to let it die, not ever. And also, because I was so passionate about this song, I had wrote a poem to it. For some of y'all who don't know, I write poetry and I write raps, which I'm sure a lot of y'all already know that part. I did indeed write a poem to this song that's kind of like a poem fanfic. It's like, it's only one part, one whole thing, whatever. Not completely too long. I think it's pretty entertaining. It is indeed on my Wattpad. If any of you guys want to go and look at it, I think it would be really cool if y'all did it. I would really appreciate it. By the way, I'm recording this late. It's like 10 o'clock at night. So, back to the video. So now we're going to move on to the one that I think is top dog in this 5 songs of One Direction that we should never let die. And that song is Home. Oh my gosh, you guys. Home. I know I probably said this about Diana, but Home is one of the most beautiful songs One Direction have ever done. I'm sure a lot of y'all probably know why I think Home is just an absolutely amazing song, considering the fact that we had a Home project and just everything. I'm very upset that it did not make it to the album. I don't know why. I don't know why they had to put it on the EP. It was absolutely amazing. Maybe management thought it was about Larry. I mean, it might be about Larry. I don't know. But I just don't understand why it didn't make it to the album, because it should have, because it's a very, very, very important song for everybody, mainly in the One Direction fandom, because let me tell you why. First of all, not only is it a very calming song, and yet at the same time makes you want to run through a meadow in slow motion, while the sun is beaming on you. That's what you see in movies. That's how I felt whenever I first heard the song. But at the same time, the song made me cry. I was stumbling in the dark with an empty heart. And that makes me feel like a fan who's not necessarily fit in a fandom at this point and feels like, the outside world is against them kind of thing, That's usually why people are in fandoms, because fandoms understand, your fandom usually understands you 90% of the time versus people who aren't in your fandom and who are just in the outside world. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. And that's why I'm always so deep in fandoms, because, y'all understand me. Y'all get me. And so I feel like those 2 lyrics is somebody who hasn't necessarily found a fandom yet. So they're stumbling in the dark because they don't know where to go with an empty heart. And whenever you're in a fandom, your heart is full of love and just grace, and you're just happy. That's what it's meant to be. You're just meant to be happy and everything when you're in a fandom. And then they say, "And it's alright, calling out for somebody to hold tonight. When you're lost, I'll find your way. I'll be your light. You will never feel like you're alone. I'll make this feel like home." So it's like they're talking to the person who's not necessarily in the fandom yet, but is kind of lost and is looking for somewhere to go. You guys, I don't know, this song mind blows the shit out of me every time I hear it. And then it could get you even if you're already in the fandom. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're already in a fandom that you call home. And it makes me feel like this is kind of, I don't know, I don't want to be like negative about it, but I kind of sort of, whenever I first heard it, I felt it as a goodbye song. Like, you know, whenever you just have that one artist that you just listen to whenever you're lost, whenever you've had a bad day and everything, and they just make it feel better. I feel like that's what they're trying to incorporate in this song, you guys. I don't know, the freaking lyrics are just absolutely amazing, and I feel like there's just always a deeper message. Every time I hear this song, the message gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And every time, I can't hear this song without crying. I can't do it, because it's just so deep and it hits me so deeply, just personally, you know. That's why I think it should be number one, and it should never ever die. And then, you know, guys, at the same time, I hear that they said that they kind of sort of incorporated Zayn's voice in Harry's part. You guys, something about that is so soulful to me and so beautiful, because it's like he wasn't even in the band when they made this song, but they still put him in there, and it's just, it's like, Zayn, you can come home too. Enough. I'm done. So you guys, that was my top 5 One Direction songs I think should never die. If you agree with me in any kind of way, you can always tell me. If there's a couple songs you feel like probably should have been on here and should have replaced some, feel free to comment it. Feel free to tell me your opinion about it. If you didn't like any of these, tell me your top 5 songs that you think we should never let die from One Direction specifically, and it could be from any album. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys, you know, kind of sort of learned a little bit more about me, knowing how deep I am about these songs. And I will surely see you next time. Remember to keep your head up and smile, and always know that somebody has your back. Bye!
And then we fly away, and we ain't running out of fuel. I'm running off of you, I'm running off of you.